Why do some choose to have a closed casket? That's what we'll be talking about today. I'm Nathan. Be sure to click that bell so you can stay up to date on when we drop exclusive content right here. Be sure to subscribe and all that other fun stuff. Closed caskets, personal preference, a lot of times. That's what we'll get out of the way first and foremost. When you think of a closed casket, some families have loved ones who say, when I die, I don't want people to, and they say, gawk at me. Or, I'll be dead. I won't look good. I'll look dead. Or maybe it is a religious belief in that no embalming takes place, and they bury within the next 24, 48 hours. And so naturally, the moment that someone passes away, science, decomposition takes place. So that is the reasoning for embalming in the first place, for a public viewing with the casket being opened. Embalming is required for public viewing in the state of Kentucky. Allow me to clarify that. I'm not sure of all the other requirements in different states. You can check that out on your state's website. Closed casket for the purpose of trauma. Let's talk about tragedy. It is unfortunate that tragedy is how we meet families, and tragedy is what has taken someone that we love, perhaps maybe you watching love. And I speak to this with the utmost delicacy and gentleness, because the funeral professionals that work with families, especially those under tragic circumstances, they want so bad to make your experience less burdening, less stressful, less overwhelming, especially if you know how or the circumstances surrounding that death. And then the other side of that is you have your professionals, the care team that are preparing, embalming, and doing any type of cosmetics in hopes to make your last view as comfortable as possible so you don't have the tragic thoughts in your mind. And closed casket might be because the family, immediate family, had an opportunity to view and didn't want the public to perhaps see and expose their loved one to be seen in a state that's not 100% like them. You know, funeral professionals are not, they're not God. And oftentimes if a car accident or, God forbid, a gunshot, it does alter the appearance at times. And although they exhaust themselves to make someone look as much like them as they possibly can, you know, their efforts oftentimes can't be 100%. And families understand that. That's where a good funeral professional is able to explain the circumstance. And that is why a casket would be closed. A lot of people refer back to President John F. Kennedy whenever he was assassinated. And that is arguably, and there have been many, many, many articles to say, hey, his casket was closed because they did not want the people, the United States of America, to see their president in that way, because obviously the footage that they've enhanced and color corrected numerous times today, you can see the horrific tragedy behind that. So that is why they chose to close the casket for President John F. Kennedy. Now the family, immediate family, and probably some very close people within the White House and Secret Service, I'm certain, were able to have a private view before the casket was closed. Tragedy oftentimes will close a casket. Sometimes personal preference will close a casket. Sometimes religion and beliefs will keep a casket closed. If it's legal, if it's ethical, the answer should and always will be yes, the goal of a funeral professional and funeral home is for every family member to have as comfortable of an experience as possible. And that is why we gather, celebrate, and remember, is to make sure people know that they're loved and supported. Do you want your casket open or closed? Do you want to be traditionally buried, or do you want to be cremated? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to click that bell, and we'll see you around the river bend.